I would like to know about the electrical problem in the back of these new lights that they put up. Ever since they have put up these lights, I plug in electrical advice, like a shaving razor or for my clock, and about every week I get a pop and they go out. They go out, and then I have to recharge, and it goes another week, and then it's out again. Now, last week, the light itself went out completely. And I called the office, and they said that they would get someone over there to see about it, and no one came. So the next day, I called. I asked my wife, did she call? She said no, but I was at work, and I called from work, and they said that they would look into it. Now, when I got home, my wife told me that the light was on. I said, well, who came to check it out? She said, nobody came. She said, I went in, plugged the light unexpectedly, and it came on. So what I want to know is, do you have electrical hookup in the main office or anything? Because if you don't have an electrical hookup in the main office, you got a problem with my apartment. Because electrical is nothing to play with. That might blow out and start a fire in that apartment.
The problem is, I called down because in the bedroom at night, it was ice-free. I had to get up and throw an extra clothes on. And I called down, I didn't get any answer. I called a couple of times. But what happened is, now, when it got to be about 9 o'clock in the morning, that's when we had eaten. I wouldn't really need it in that much, you know? So, I don't know what we can do about it, but people, I know someone now that had to go out in 820, a friend of mine, she had to go buy a heater because it's so bad, you know, and something should be done about it because we're all coming out with these colds and things now because of not having the heat in there. And it's not right.
Something is definitely different because we used to get too much heat. Now we get none.
What's different is that Keith used to override the system, and therefore we had heat all the time. He cannot override no more, so we don't get heat all the time no more. That's the problem.
The problem is we need the heat, especially.
But in response, but here's the action plan when it comes to that. There are regulations as to when a landlord has to provide heat. If we all get in the habit, and I must admit, I gotta do this more often instead of just complaining and hanging out in the living room. And I am this element. I mean, I'll tell myself, well, we've called before, but we have to get in the habit of whenever that happens, as often as we have to, is file 311 complaints for lack of heat. If that happens often and routine enough, the city will, it'll show a spike in those calls. That goes to HPD. HPD then is asked by the mayor's office, what's happening? Why is this system showing this many calls in this one location? And then they in turn finally put some pressure on management, send out inspectors to say what's going on. Keep in mind that if we call now, they may not come send an inspector that same night when it happens. But if they start seeing call after call after call, day after day about the same complaint, especially now that we know the weather's going to remain cold, it'll help us along in getting them to address that.
And HPD does come out, because they came out to me on a Sunday, and they checked my apartment. I mean, they said it wasn't that cold then, but he said keep calling. The guy was very nice. He said keep calling. Matter of fact, yesterday I got a call from HPD asking me if I had heat. So they are concerned. And plus they'll charge them $1,000 if they find you ain't got no heat.
I guess we on the safety issues of the agenda, so I'll talk that and come back later. But one, we have a problem, and it's been an ongoing problem actually, even before this management came through, which is at least in 820, we have a problem with the elevators. The elevators consistently are out it's almost like it's on schedule. Every 2 months, bam, 2 elevators a month. I know in my building, I know I'm fit enough to walk up just 6 flights, but I personally know people who are octogenarians, septuagenarians, 70s and their 80s, and they can't walk up 16, 15 flights on a consistent basis. We have a lot of people, I'm hearing all these other complaints. This is bad for our seniors that live in the buildings. Our buildings have people that have been living there, such as myself, for over 40 years. The difference was I was born in these buildings, but these people were in their 30s when they moved in these buildings, making them 70 and 80 years old. So this is, starting to become a ridiculous situation. Let's cut to the chase. This guy's turning our place into a slum village. This is a slum lord. I've seen it. Okay? The last time we was here, I told y'all that I used to play in the park, all right? When the block was dumping bodies out there, okay? Now, they put some other stuff there, and they started redoing our area, okay? Now you look again, the park was supposed to be finished in the summertime. I go there all the time. I have a 5-year-old daughter, and I take her and her friends out there. We play, right? Now they're doing a whole overhaul on this park. Guarantee you, they're trying to wait until this park is finished. We also know that soon there's probably going to be a water taxi, which means it's going to alleviate all the people going back and forth, coming on the train and mass transit. These are all amenities. And these amenities, they don't want for black and brown people. Okay? And that's where we got to, let's come to the chase. We can complain about, the things in our apartment, and it's true. It's bad. And some of the stuff, I would be out in front of the office right now with a picket sign, or ready to punch somebody in the face or something, if I heard some of the stuff that was going on. But we can't do that. But what we can do is start to see, like I said before, what other properties has this management managed in all configurations, because we know this ain't the original name.
So one of the things I'm going to do is I will put the Urban Justice Center in touch with Helen. The Urban Justice Center is a nonprofit organization that does legal services for, in particular, tenant-related issues. And they are really good at the work that they do. They also have a profile of certain owners in the city. And maybe this just needs to get on their radar so that they can help you with the organizing that you need to do, but also help you do some of that research that the gentleman just referenced. Because if this is not an isolated incident with this owner, that is unfortunate for us, but it helps us with a conversation with HPD. So Helen, tomorrow my office will reach out and provide the contact information, and we can arrange a meeting with all of you, but certainly a meeting with the executive committee of the Residents Association, so that you can meet the folks at the Urban Justice Center. We'll do that here, we'll come to you, we can do it in my office, it doesn't matter. But there are excellent resources around tenant organizing and tenant empowerment. And they get money from the city council to do precisely that. And they have the legal background and expertise in the process as well. So
We thank you, and we'll
do
follow
that tomorrow.
And I would like to ask you a question. How far must we deteriorate before we can put our rent into an escrow account and get our problems solved?
That is something that the Urban Justice Center can help you figure out. Do it legally, don't stop paying your rent.
No.
But then they have a cost to it. You have to do it organized, and the Urban Justice Center can certainly help you do that along with UHAB, Urban Homesteading Assistance Program. They're helping the Assemblyman and I in another part of our shared district with another building, another owner that is irresponsible and not doing the right thing. They come in and help you guys get organized, and then give us a plan for follow-up. So that's very useful. So that'll be part of that conversation.
I have some residents in my building who are concerned with the format for paying the rent now. They want to know if we are still going to be paying the rent the way we used to, because I know on the first day of November, the new site manager came in with a whole new address for which to pay the rent to, and us as the Tenants Association Executive Board, we directed the tenants to keep doing it the way they were doing it. Can you give us some information?
So, I've actually haven't paid this month's rent because I wasn't sure who I was supposed to pay it to or where to send it to. And I'm sure a lot of folks are going through the same thing. I finally today got a call back from Nat, who's the new manager, and I reiterated to him, we had a quick conversation, he expressed an interest in wanting to meet and discuss, and he said, oh, you can tell folks that and I said, I'm not telling anybody anything on their behalf. Because I've already tried everything I could to help smooth over the communication between David and the association, and that led us to absolutely nothing. I said, so it would be in your best interest, I said, to be here tonight. Let folks know that you're dealing things in a new way and that you're gonna get things resolved. And maybe folks will feel like they're gonna give you that opportunity. I said, but even then, understand that you're asking them to just repeat what they've been saying for months now, to no avail. So he reiterated that he's interested, that he mentioned the statement that went out. He said there were errors with that notification. He mentioned to me that there's a new statement that will be sent out in December, a notice that's going to go out either late November or first day of December, where we're going to get clear information as to how and what to make out our rent payments to. So the month of November, we can do it as we've been doing it, meaning to Park Central, dropping it off at the Dropbox or however you're accustomed to sending it to them for the month of November. And then we'll see what they tell us for December. Now, I asked him if this is a new ownership group, and he said no. He said that he works for, his boss is David's partner, and that what they realized is that they have more experience having other buildings they're managing in the Bronx, which he didn't get a chance to tell me which those were, but he said that they have more experience doing management work, and so they are now the part of the partnership that's going to be handling management. He expressed to me that the office will remain open. I believe there was some staff that were let go, so I don't know if that means they're going to bring anyone back or just hire someone new, but that office was going to remain open, and that a new notice would be sent out with clearer information or accurate information about where, who to make the payments out to starting December.
And the reason why no one, let me have this for a second. Excuse me. The reason why no one can't get the office is because they claim their phones are down. What is happening is, because I've gone through it myself, what is happening, you call the office, it goes through voicemail. You don't even get the other people that we used to get. The answering service. There is no answering service anymore. When I talked to Leslie the other day and I said, what is going on? Leslie says when you call and leave a message, it goes to her email. And she will call you back. So, I don't know what to tell you. I also had a meeting, Mr. Francis and I had a meeting with the new management. And we asked him to show up tonight. And what he told us was that he had a meeting, he has a big business, but everybody was going to be in that same meeting. So he couldn't even send a representative, but he would try. As you can see, I guess he didn't try hard enough. Nobody's here.